Be you, be authentic, be transparent, have open communication. The more authentic you are, the more genuine you are, the more credible you are in the eyes of others. So in order to build your credibility and to establish yourself as credible, the first thing you've got to do is be consistent. Because credibility is a journey. It's not a one-time thing. It's not that you do something once and all of a sudden the world thinks you're credible. So you need to really be consistent in what you're doing. You want to be present. And by being present, I mean not only being present in the sense of connecting with your audience, but also being a visible leader. So you should start to think about ways to be out there, to be seen, to be omnipresent. You want to be on different platforms. You want to be in as many arenas as you can possibly be to be visible. You want to be trustworthy. You guys all know that foundationally for me is your why. Every single thing starts with being clear on your why. And when you're clear on your why, you're able to hold that center with everything that you do, with your brand values, your personal values, your brand voice, your personal voice, your priorities, your goals, your dreams, your hopes, your aspirations. Everything starts with your why. And you want to communicate that in a trustworthy manner. So that also means that you need to follow through. And this is an area where a lot of people, when they want to establish themselves as credible, drop the ball. They're visible, they're out there, they have a consistent presence, but they make promises or they make statements and they don't follow through. So you've got to do what you say. And part of following through is letting it be visible follow through. It doesn't do you as much good when you're trying to build credibility in a public platform if you're following through on the back end, but nobody knows that you're doing it. So you want to make sure that you are publicly following through. We're going to send out A, B, and C. And then the next day, I hopped on and said, we did it. Those are ways that you can visibly communicate your follow through. It helps enhance your credibility. Again, you've got to be genuine. You guys know this is absolutely foundational for me. Be genuine. Be you. Be you. Be authentic. Be transparent. Have open communication. The more authentic you are, the more genuine you are, the more credible you are in the eyes of others. They'll either like you or they won't like you, and that's fine. You don't have to be everybody's cup of tea, but you have to be genuine. You have to be authentic, because no matter what, even if you don't like somebody, when they are congruent, when they are authentic, when they are consistent, when they stand in who they are and they own who they are unapologetically, and they communicate that, look, this is who I am. If they're consistent in that, well, you know they're credible when they say they're a certain way. You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to like them, but it does enhance credibility. So it's the same thing. Don't worry about being liked. Worry about being authentic. Worry about being genuine. Worry about just being you, and lean into that. Embrace that. Be respectful. Respectful leaders get more credibility than bully leaders. You don't have to agree with somebody, but be respectful in your communication, be respectful in your mannerisms, be respectful in your messaging. And that goes a long way to being seen as a credible, well-rounded leader. Again, be honest and loyal. Take responsibility. A credible leader takes responsibility. You don't defer. You don't, pass the buck. It's super, super important for credibility that you take responsibility for the good, for the bad. When things go wonky, just own it. Say, okay, something went wonky here. I take responsibility. I'm fixing it. This is what I'm doing. Be principled, congruent, and aligned with your values. So I've talked about that, but I really cannot stress that highly enough, that your credibility hinges upon your authenticity. Your credibility hinges on your transparency, and your credibility hinges on being principled and congruent and aligned with your values. If you make a misstep, if something goes wonky, again, take responsibility. But the more aligned you are, the more credible you are. Lead with service. Help others. Credible leaders help. They serve. The more you're out there serving, the more credible you're going to be seen, and add massive value. There's no substitute for adding massive value. The more you help others, the more you serve, the more value you add, the more credible you're seen, and that then will lead into positioning yourself as the expert.